I'm Jason Gervais. This is Denise Gervais. We own a company in Milton called WSI. We're a digital marketing agency. And we have 3 boys. Our youngest son is our son together. His name is Zachary, and he's 9. And I have 2 older boys from my first marriage, Ryan, who's 14, and Daniel, who's 18.
We've been attending Renew Church since the fall of 2007, so that's about 8.5 years now. And Jason was raised Catholic. I was raised atheist, so I didn't have any belief. Within a few months of attending, we both started a relationship with Jesus and really became Christians and following him.
We give on a bi-weekly basis, so twice a month, and we own our own business, so our income is a little bit, it's fluctuates and things like that, but we try to stick to, we actually give a flat amount based on what we project to earn for the year, divided out. And we don't only give to the church, we also give to like World Vision. We sponsor a couple kids, and we tend to try to have a policy where anytime somebody asks us for a donation toward a cause that we believe in, we want to give to that as well. So giving is something that is important to us. We want to make sure that we follow what God wants us to do with our money and really treat it like it's his money. We try to stick to a 10% base, so try to actually truly tithe with our giving.
Yeah, at least. And then Zach also gives, our 9-year-old, he gives 10% of his allowance. So he's got his own number, his own envelope, and everything. We arrived at our giving amount. I think it's changed over time, and mostly because we don't have a fixed salary and our money is kind of funny. It's a lot of checking in with God and just praying and figuring out where we're at. I remember really early, maybe even before I was a believer, when we just started attending, I would try to do these mathematical calculations of what was fair and how many hours of time was the church giving to us and how much would therapy cost and things like that. But it definitely progressed into just checking in with God and making sure that it was right. Using the 10% and also checking in with him because our money's funny.
And over the years, there's been different messages on Sundays that have convicted us in certain ways about giving. We also, there's been times when we've just felt drawn to give more. I remember vividly one time we woke up in the middle of the night. God told me to increase our giving, our regular giving, and I woke Denise up and said, we have to do this, and we just did.
And give her a tax refund.
Yeah, one time there was a specific need for the church. Our tax refund was almost dollar for dollar what that was, so we just said we have to give that. And it's been really a journey of obedience. For me, I've experienced this sort of paradigm shift where my feelings used to be that my money was my money, I worked hard for it, and if I was going to give some of it away, I'm giving some of it away. My thinking has really changed in coming to Christ and understanding that my money is really a gift from God, and it's his money, and it's my job to use his money for his purpose. He's allowing me to use that money for my family and all this stuff that I do, but a portion of that at least has to go back to him and supporting his will. I feel that our life is fulfilled. We don't want for anything. We have a very healthy giving style. I think we give a lot, and yet we don't want for anything. So I don't want to say that God blesses you for giving, because I don't think that's necessarily the case with everybody. But I think that God does bless obedience, and by giving, we're being obedient to what God wants us to do. Along with us giving to God, there's been times when we have been in need in different ways in our business, in our home, where you go through ups and downs, and you start, all of a sudden you kind of hit a wall, or you're confronted with something, and there's a massive outflow of cash that needs to go through with the business, and we got our line of credit, and we got to pay people's salaries, and we're just trying to juggle all these different things with money, we're giving our faith over to God, and we're continuing. There's been times when I've said to Denise, we can't afford to keep giving this amount, but we've stuck with it. We've just stuck with that consistency, and the lessons I've learned is that God has been rewarding us for our faith and our surrender to Him. Mm-hmm. You have to listen to God. In my experience, giving is rewarded back, and you'll know that reward when it's happening.
I was to say, it was the same of anything that God speaks to you is, it might sound ridiculous or scary, but just pray and do what He tells you to do.